Hey there, welcome back to week 2 of the Osmompreneur 2016 May Challenge. This is the Get Visible and Vulnerable Challenge, and my name's Lisa Fitzpatrick, and I'm from www.lisafitzpatrick.com.au. And for your chance to win a copy of my new book, Healing the Heart of Your Business, Sustainable Success for Heart-Centered Women, I would love for you to be a part of this challenge. So I have a free copy to give away this week to the best the best answers in the comments boxes below. And this week, the Get Visible and Vulnerable Challenge is going to guide you towards getting a little bit vulnerable with yourself in your business. And getting vulnerable here, we're going to delve into something from the book, which is identifying your ascendant and descendant traits. And now these are the qualities with which you lead either powerfully, but they can also be qualities that you use to regularly self-sabotage as well. And when we get vulnerable enough to admit to ourselves that we have these certain ways or tendencies that we keep ourselves stuck or keep ourselves in status quo, we know that we'll never really expand our business or expand our reach or our visibility until we identify and overcome these particular descendant traits. So the interesting thing about identifying your ascendant and descendant traits is that they're always serving us in some way. Now, your ascendant traits are probably quite easy, for example, to identify. For example, you might be known because you're very innovative, you're very insightful, perhaps you're fun. And so identifying what you're good at and what you're strong at, it's been demonstrated and researched that people who lead with their ascendant traits and focus in on what they're good at doing are usually more successful. And even organizations and businesses that lead with their strengths are more successful than the ones that focus on their weaknesses. So if you're not sure what your ascendant traits are, the best way to identify them is to send out a short text message or email to your friends and colleagues and ask them what 3 things or 3 traits actually describe you best. Yeah, and they'll come back with a whole list of things, and you'll probably find a lot of those qualities repeat themselves in what people say about you. So I did that exercise once, and all 25 people I asked said that I was insightful. That was one consistent word. And so you just do a little bit of research to find out what your ascendant traits are. Now, your descendant traits are often things that we're a little bit ashamed of, so we have to get a bit vulnerable here with ourselves about ways that we self-sabotage. So sometimes we might self-sabotage by overeating, and so our descendant trait is basically poor self-control, for example. And our descendant traits serve us beautifully. So, for example, if our overeating habit and our inability to self-control keeps us safe and keeps us hiding a little more and less visible because it feels too dangerous to put ourselves forward, then it has secondary gain for us. And our descendant trait will just continue keeping us there until we identify it. Another really big one that I see a lot for women in business is the descendant traits of not following through and finishing things. So if you have a habit of leaving projects unfinished, this could be serving you because it could just be keeping you in that status quo where there's enough things unfinished to keep you trapped in the busy work and not really progressing through to that end product. Another big one for me personally as a descendant trait is that just as I'm about to have a big breakthrough and really know that if I could just take that next step, I would move the trajectory or move the needle on my business, is to get really, really tired. And then I will switch everything off and I will fail myself to move forward past that point. And that serves me because usually I find it's before a really big breakthrough of some sort or a big event or something really big. So I've learnt that if I do start exhibiting that descendant trait of excessive tiredness, then I'm just reaching a point of my upper limit, and it's a way of innovatively for me and creatively working my way around that descendant trait, but calling it out for what it is, yeah, not using it as an excuse to not move things forward. The ego can be very tricky. It can try to keep us stuck, but when we know what it does for us personally, we are really good at seeing how we stop ourselves from pushing through our glass ceiling. So, healing the heart of your business really requires you to understand where you're keeping yourself limited and stuck. And, when you understand your descendant traits, you can then see that every time they arise, you can see them for what they are. So, I would love for you to write in the comments below what 3 strategies or 3 descendant habits you have that keep you small and keep you stuck. And perhaps you could even go further down the detective path and identify and explain what secondary gain you get from those traits. So pick one of those descendant traits that you've identified and explain how it serves you to stay in that trait. So if it's, something like you're really good at cancelling at the last minute because you go into overwhelm, then how does that serve you to use that strategy of sabotage? And again, I would love to reward the best answer with a copy of my book, or you can pick up part 1 for free at www.lisafitzpatrick.com.au. And part 1 of the book is all about how to identify whether you are on track with your soul purpose in your business. And it's been wonderful speaking to you today. I look forward to meeting with you again next week for part 3 of the challenge. See you then. Bye.